Hey guys, today's video we're going to look at adding the garage to your bungalow design. A lot of you have already gone through the process of adding in walls to kind of outline the space that will become your garage. In this case, we're looking at a garage that is 20 feet deep, which is about the average depth of a garage. You can think about vehicles that might need to be parked in a garage, and some get quite long. If you think of a pickup truck, that can be up to 20 feet in itself. So when you're designing your garage, I definitely recommend you go 20 feet deep to accommodate larger vehicles. Remember, when it comes to a garage, that doesn't count against the square footage for your project because it isn't actually considered living space. So you could make a garage as big as you'd like. In my case, I've got a garage that's 20 feet by 20 feet. So this will actually fit two cars in it. And the walls were drawn with all the same parameters as the other walls of the house. So if we zoom out, we can see the other walls of the home. And then we've got this area allocated for a garage. If we look at this in 3D, we can see that the house as it is has a foundation under the entire house portion, but no foundation under the garage yet. We're gonna go through in this video how to create the foundation walls, because when it comes to a garage, the foundation that's under it is different than the foundation that's under the rest of your home. In the rest of your home, you've got a full foundation, which is at least 8 feet deep, and it's occupiable space. I mean, you could put whatever you want down there. In our garage, we do not have a basement that extends beneath the garage. It's just foundation walls that are actually shorter than normal, so they only go 4 feet deep, and all of that space in between the foundation walls would be backfilled with gravel. You wouldn't have a basement under garage, and reason being is cars are very heavy, so to engineer a floor that would support that load would become quite expensive and quite it had a lot to the construction of the home. So let's go through the steps to set up this garage correctly. So the first thing you'll probably want to do is set up a new level. If we look at this house here in 3D, we can see that there are various different levels. Top of wall, we've got the first floor level. Then going down to the bottom, we've got TO footing and BO footing, top of footing and bottom of footing. And we're going to add a new level for garage, and it's going to be called grade. So to do that, we're going to go over to the project browser, and we're going to look at our elevation drawings. So as we scroll down, we've got our elevation drawings. I always pick the north by default, so I'm just going to double click that to open it. And here are the levels that exist. We're going to add another one. To do that, we're in the architecture tab. We're going to go over to the level command, and we are going to start working from the left to the right. It always makes your life easier if you start on the left and work to the right in the case of levels. So we're just going to click, and you can see hopefully on the screen a blue dashed line that shows me that my new level is aligned on the right, the same location as my other existing level. So I'm going to click, and I will cancel out of this command. So I'm right clicking and I am going to cancel. And I'm going to name this. I told you guys I want it to be called grade. So we're going to type that in on the keyboard. And the grade level should be at -2 feet. Now you'll get this pop up asking to rename corresponding views, which you do want to do. So we'll say yes. Next thing is we want -2 feet for the elevation of this. So we're going to just start type -2 and hit enter. And the grade goes to the appropriate height. Now it's kind of buried amongst these others. So to fix that, we're going to, if I zoom in, there's a little kind of lightning bolt looking icon, and that allows you to add an elbow to the elevation level. And then there are two blue dots, which are grips, which you can move and manipulate into a position where grade becomes more visible and it's not overlapping your existing levels. So with that done, we have the levels set for our garage, which is great. The rest of this, we're going to start looking over here on the first floor plan. The next thing we want to do is adjust the walls. We're going to have these walls actually go down deeper, and they will go down almost to that new grade level that we've added. So I'm going to highlight all those walls that will be my garage. And I'm also going to drag down so we can see a little bit more of the properties menu. A couple constraints we need to change. For the base offset, we're going to want to extend these walls down from where they are currently. When we'll put them down -1 foot, 8 inches. So on my keyboard, I've gone -1 space 8. Okay. And then we'll scroll down to the next parameter that we need to check, which will be base extension. You might have -1 foot 8 here. If you do, you're going to override that and type in 0, just like we have already on this wall. Okay, so that's done. That should be our wall work done. And we can click apply to apply that. If we look at it in 3D, little pan over here. Those walls look like they're right in line with the existing walls, and that's because the existing walls have that base extension set to -1 foot 8 to run over the structural floor, so we don't see it from the outside. Anyways, we'll move on. Next thing we're going to do is on our first floor plan, we are going to start working on the foundation walls. So in order to make that process a little easier, we're going to come over here to the properties menu, and we're looking for extents, and we want to edit the view range of this floor plan. So we're going to click edit, and we want to look a little deeper. Right now, it's just looking down to the level of the first floor. And let's set this up so we can look all the way down. This will help us see our foundation walls as we draw them. So we'll click OK. And now we'll start with the foundation walls. So we're going to go to the wall tool, and we'll select foundation walls. We're going to use the 10-inch. And a couple things we're going to change. We're going to go to the location line, and we want to be right flush with the finished face of the walls above. So we're going to select this finished face exterior. Next thing that we'll do is we'll go to the properties menu, and we're going to set the base constraint up. So where do the foundation walls start and end? We're going to kind of do this in a bit of a funny way, but we're going to say the base constraint is grade, but that they start at -4 feet from the grade level. So we'll type in -4, and we want these to come up to the first floor, which they do. Okay, so we're good there. And we want that top offset value to be at -1 foot 8 inches from the first floor, so that essentially these exterior walls right here, that what you see where my cursor is, they sit on top of these new foundation walls. So with that done, we're ready to start placing walls, and we're just going to go right on the finished face of the wall. And we'll look for these snap points right on these outside corners. I'm zooming in and I'm zooming out so I can definitely see where I'm clicking and make sure I'm clicking in the right spot. Okay, so we'll go all the way around the garage, and we'll come right to this point because we already have a foundation under the rest of the house. So we'll run our new foundation wall over to here. Okay, we'll hit escape to get out of the command, and hit escape again to totally get out of the command. Now, if we look at 3D, you can see now we've kind of got these stubby foundation walls. They go down 4 feet, which actually takes us in Ontario just below the frost line. Okay. We wouldn't want to go too deep because, again, this isn't usable space under the garage. We're going to fill it up with gravel at the end, so going down the minimum depth is definitely what we want to do. We are going to add footings to this foundation wall, just like we did with the other foundation walls. So to do that, we're going to go to structure, and we'll go to wall, and we'll select the 36 by 12 footing, and we'll just click on the foundation walls, and we'll orbit around and make sure we've got them all. Okay, and that's our footings taken care of. Final thing for us in this video is that we are going to put in a floor, and we can do that on the first floor plan. And what we'll do is we will go to the floor option, and we want to select the 4-inch, let's see if we can find it, the concrete slab 4-inch. That's what our vehicles are going to park on top of. And we're going to use the wall select tool, pick walls. And now we'll just pick these exterior walls. And we want the floor to come to the inside face of the wall. So we'll grab all our walls. And by the way, if you found that it had gone underneath the wall, you can always use the flippy arrows to move that back and forth, okay, to toggle that. I've got 2 more walls to do. And instead of picking on this wall, I won't do that. I will use the trim extend corner tool. And reason being, if I click on this inside wall, Revit's going to look at this as 2 separate lines, one here, that overlap with each other. And it won't see a closed loop that way. So you'll use the trim extend corner tool, and you're going to click on this line and this line, and then you'll click the green check mark. It lets you know that some walls are overlapping the floors, which is fine. We're just going to click yes to accept that. We can take a look at this in 3D, see how it looks. Always a good idea to get into 3D and orbit around and make sure you're happy. Now, because your garage is now at a lower level than the first floor of your home, it's -2 feet down, we will need to add a little bit of set of stairs to get from the house down into the garage. And the other things we'll need to add to this would be doors. So we'll need garage doors. In my case, they're going to go on this face, and then a door going into the house on this wall here. Okay, so we'll pick that up in the next video. Thanks for watching.